John Cole with DiscountJuicers.com to have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, I'm going to answer the question once and for all, what's the best juicer you should buy if you're going to go on a juice fast, also known as a juice feast, where basically you're abstaining from food, you're taking a solid food vacation, and you're just drinking juices for your nourishment. This could have many benefits, in my opinion. The benefits are basically you're giving your digestive system a break, you're flooding your body with different kinds of vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients in especially the vegetable juices, and not eating the foods you used to eat that likely have caused all the issues, or many of the issues that people experience today. That being said, when you're on a juice fast, normally people will juice anywhere between 4 to 6 quarts of juice in a day, and that's a lot of juice. So you got to make a lot of juice. More importantly, you got to have a juicer that's going to make the amount of juice for you. But more importantly, in my opinion, you should strive to make a high quality juice. Certain juicers will put less nutrients into the juice, which means that you will not have those nutrients in the juice for your body to use, and so that you can derive the benefits from. You know, that's very important to me as I've learned about, you know, the nutrition in juices using various extractor methods. So in this episode, I'm going to show you guys the best juicer to use for a juice fast and the worst juicer to use in the juice fast. And you know, knowing me, I'm not just going to say buy this one or buy that one, because buying a juicer is very nuanced, right? And I like to make analogies so that you guys will understand them, because you guys don't understand juicers like I do, since I've been juicing since 1995 continuously, and I've been selling juicers online since 1998. I also have more videos on this YouTube channel, over 600 episodes comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers. I juice almost every day myself. Like every day I've been juicing solid. Yesterday I made like 1.5 gallons of green juice. The day before that I made like watermelon mint juice. Every day I'm making some different kind of juice in my house, and I'm using different juicers when I make different juices so I can see what happens, right? So anyways, here's the analogy. The analogy is this. Say you're working on your car or a house project, and you ask your wife, you know, or husband, whoever's working on the car, right? Let me gender correct here. Hey, hand me that screwdriver. So then they go in your toolbox, they just grab any old screwdriver that happens to be up on top, and they hand it to you. And it's a stubby, you know, basically flat head screwdriver. And you're like, no, I need the skinny, long Phillips head screwdriver. But you didn't specify. You just said, hand me a screwdriver. And when somebody asked me, John, what's the best juicer? It's like asking your partner, whoever's helping you work on your car, to hand you that screwdriver, and they hand you the wrong one. So you got to get more information to the wife or to your partner, you know, on what screwdriver you need. So what I would like to do instead of, you know, just handing you a screwdriver, you can say, hey, hand me that multi-screwdriver, right? So I got this multi-screwdriver, right? Oh, like, yeah, that's a Phillips, so that's great. But look at this. This bit will flip around to this side, and it has like a nice larger straight slot, and this is a larger Phillips. And check this out. If I pull this out, it's reversible, so now I can put it in this direction. And now I got a small Phillips, and then I can flip that around, and they got a small straight slot, right? So what you guys want to do is you guys want to buy a juicer that has like that is like a wide variety, you know, is able to juice a wide variety of produce. You know, some juicers, you know, specifically will juice really good some items and not so good other items. You know, kind of like a straight slot screwdriver only has like, you can only do straight slots with it. Meanwhile, the vertical juicers, in my opinion, are like that jack of all trades screwdriver that could juice most things relatively well, you know, fairly easily, provided you use it right, okay? And same if you are ladies or men that don't use screwdrivers and you like to wear high heels instead, you know, and you're picking out shoes, you ask your husband, hey, pick me out a pair of shoes, I'm going to the beach today, and he gives you the high heels because he loves how you look in them. That's not going to work for the beach, because those high heels are going to sink into the sand. You're going to probably trip and fall. So, you know, you probably have, as a lady, one of those pairs of shoes that you could pretty much wear anywhere, because it's like your flats or something that you go to work in. You could maybe jog in if you needed to. You could go to the beach in, all this kind of stuff, right? So, you know, that's the thing. Unless you have a specialized purpose, like if you need to wear high heels because you are going to a wedding and you would not be caught dead in thongs or flip-flops or whatever. You know, that's it too. So that also, you know, please understand that buying a juicer is very nuanced. So you need to know what you're going to juice so that you can select the appropriate juicer for your specific needs. And besides what you're going to juice, you also may have some other considerations when buying a juicer, like how fast is a juicer? How long does it take to make juice? How fast can I clean it? You know, I don't like cleaning. I don't want to be sitting there scrubbing stuff for, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I want to, you know, be able to clean it relatively quickly. Maybe one of your criteria is, John, I want to have the highest amount of enzymatic activity in the juice. Of course, I'll have a juicer for you if that's the goal. I don't hear that request too often. Maybe some of you guys say, John, I don't care about anything. Produce is expensive, especially organic produce, which is what I'm going to do on the Juice Fast. I want to get the juicer that makes the most yield. Well, I got a juicer for you guys if you want to do that, you know. Of course, I also have juicers if the most important thing is the nutrition, I want to have the most nutrients in the juice, I got a juicer for that, and that's actually not even shown on the table today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over some of these juicers one by one. I'm going to go over some of their pros, some of their cons, and if it might be the right juicer for you for your Juice Fast to make 4 to 5 quarts of juice in a day. So in my personal opinion, the kind of juicer you don't want to buy for your Juice Fast is this style of juicer. This is actually called the Juice Fountain Cold Juicer by Breville. I don't care if it's the Breville brand Juice Fountain high-speed juicers or other high-speed machines. I am personally not a fan of high-speed machines because they offer few benefits with a lot of drawbacks in my personal opinion, and also based on some of the science and data I've seen, you know, as to nutrient content of these juices, specifically related to polyphenol and phytonutrient content. The reason why I don't like these machines is they have a fast spinning basket. You know, hey, these style of juicers were great back in the 1980s when they were invented, but juicing technology has come a long way. These juices are very inexpensive to produce. Some can be bought for very inexpensive at your local big box store. Some are cheaper to produce, but then they sell for a lot more. But basically, these are old school technology. You know, these blades run very quickly, some up to 10,000 plus RPMs. The faster the blade spins in general, especially when being exposed to oxygen in the ambient air that we're breathing right now, you know, the more oxygen is introduced into the juice itself, and more oxygen is being bombarded as the cell walls are broken open of the produce that expose all the nutrients into the juice so that we could absorb it easier, but these nutrients get oxidized. A lot of people will tell you, don't buy a centrifugal juicer because of the heat. And I don't know where they get that information, because I'll post a link down below if I remember to a video I made, you know, testing the heat, you know, made in different juicers. And this juicer technically didn't heat the juice any more than other style juicers. A matter of fact, other style juicers heated the juice more than this. The problem with this machine is the oxygen added. I'm not a fan of the oxygen. Of course, you know, if you just want to be done fast and you don't care about the nutrient quality, which is the big downside because of all the oxygen, this makes the lowest nutrient quality juice, in my opinion. You know, you could be done super quick. This is the fastest juicer to use. You know, moderately difficult to clean, not too hard. There's lots of holes in the screen that you need to scrub clean. And the other thing is that this machine will not juice all kinds of produce, like, effectively. Right? Things, hard vegetables like carrots and root vegetables, it's going to do a great job in terms of yield. Still not get a good nutrition. In terms of like fruits that are softer, it gets a decent you know, yield, but the pulp that comes out is very wet. And if you try to put leafy greens in here, that's where this machine fails miserably. This machine will barely extract any nutrients and get a high yield out of leafy greens. It just basically kicks them out whole. So that's why I really don't recommend this style machine for your juice fast, unless speed is number one and you don't really care about anything else. You don't care about nutrients, you don't care about anything else, but you just know you got to do this, and you're not really maybe that committed to your health, and and then just get one of these guys so you could do it, because doing a juice feast or juice fast is better than not doing it at all, even if it's with the juicer. I don't recommend personally. The next machine you might want to consider for a juice fast is the Omega NC800, a popular YouTuber online that does juice feasts. This is his favorite machine by far. He's, I think, probably only tested very few juicers, where I've tested like all the major brands, including a lot of ones from China that I buy. And each juicer, has its own sets of pros and cons, and each person may gravitate to one juicer or another. You could buy 10 juicers, try them all, and see which one you like the best, and then send them all back and return them. And that to me would be a big pain in the butt. Plus, it's just really wasteful in my opinion. And that's why I make these videos, to help you guys out, so that you guys don't have to buy 10 different juicers or 5 different juicers, try them all to see which one you like the best. I try to go into explaining the juicers, surely saying the pros and cons as a juicing expert of each juicer for you, so that you guys know what's going to happen when you get the juicer. And I'll also even, answer your questions and help guide you and recommend the best juicer for you if you contact me and you're in my service area, which is the United States and its territories, to get you the best juicer. If you contact me, link is down below in the description, with the specific recipes you want to make, including ingredients and amounts, and some of the criteria and things that are important for you to have in a juicer. Then I can say, hey, get this one, it's going to juice those items most effectively, and also, do the other things that you want. Anyways, I make these videos to help you guys out because I know about all this stuff, and I wish there'd be more videos online with people sharing their information, about their special interests and what they know, because I definitely know juicers better than anybody else I've met in the world. And let me know if you find somebody that knows more than me, because I want to pick their brain and learn more and become better. And I know that you guys would do this for me if you were in my situation. If you're an expert about Tesla cars or something, you make videos about Tesla cars and share all the information about Tesla cars for people, so that you could make the world a better place, and there'd be people could get the right product for the right job. Okay. So, and if you guys like my videos, please support me by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. Links are down below to the juicers that I've shared in this video, and your purchase at discountjuicers.com allows me to continue to make these educational videos to share with you guys the truth about different juicers and juicing. I do represent many different brands of juicers. I sell many different brands of juicers. I test many different brands of juicers. No juicer company pays me off. They do send me free juicers on occasion, and sometimes I have to buy juicers to test, to share with you guys the results. And here's the thing, I do all this for me primarily, right? Because I juice every day. I want to know the best juicer for me, and of the juicers that I'll be sharing with you guys today, there's actually 2 of them that I use on a regular basis, because those are the ones I find the best. But it doesn't mean that the ones I find the best are the ones you're going to like the best, because you might have different needs. Like the popular YouTuber that does a juice fast, and he bought my favorite juicer, and he's getting rid of it, and instead he's keeping this one because this is the one he's used to. And that's cool, right? Everybody's going to have different needs and find the different juicers for you. So here's the thing. This is the Omega NC800. This is a single auger style juicer. This is the easiest juicer to clean in the world. I have a video where I clean this machine in 80 seconds flat. It has very small amounts of screen area. Now what it does require, it requires you to push each item in, which I am personally not a fan of. I have other things to do than push each item into a juicer that runs it like a slow 80 revolutions per minute. Also, this style machine is the best for juicing things like wheatgrass and leafy greens. If you're going to juice primarily wheatgrass and leafy greens straight up, this is the machine that you definitely need to buy in your juice fast. That being said, wheatgrass and leafy greens don't make a lot of juice, and you probably are not going to be juicing a lot of those on your juice fast because they are very strong. You may make a lot of green juices, which will have leafy greens with things like celery and cucumber to water it down, maybe a little bit of an apple to make it sweet if you can't tolerate it without. And then that's where this machine would also shine. Anything that's long and stringy, like, kale leaves or charred leaves, Swiss chard, spinach, wheatgrass that's stringy, celery, even ginger, you could put it in here without pre-cutting, other than to just make it fit into the chute. It's going to easily handle those strings. I mean, I like this machine for when I grow a garden, and in my garden, when the plants get a little bit too tall, they get really fibrous, and I'll still cut them down and run them through this machine. Even okra, mature okra, I run through this machine to make okra juice, which that one is insane. And no other juicer could basically do that because the strings would just totally break the machine. But this machine could handle those long strings. Now, on root vegetables, right, the high-speed machine that I showed you earlier will get a higher yield than this machine. This will not yield as much, but this will adequately juice root vegetables without any problems, without any issues whatsoever. Now, when juicing fruits, this will also juice fruits when you're juicing them with other vegetables and rotating the ingredients. So don't just put all the apples and then all the wheatgrass, put like a handful of wheatgrass, a piece of apple, a handful of wheatgrass, a piece of apple, and rotate through. I have videos on how to use these machines specifically so that you guys get the best, use out of them with minimal challenges. The challenge with this machine is if you do soft things that are too soft, it can back up and clog and really just not juice. So if you try to do straight pineapple juice in this machine, for example, that causes me much frustration because it's just really not going to work. But if you just add pineapple with a little bit of jicama or carrot, and alternate, then it's going to work totally fine. So you are limited in juicing straight fruit juices, and I know some people out there and some people that recommend juice feasting recommend high fruit juice recipes for your juice feast. And I personally would say that, if it was me and I was doing a juice feast, I would gravitate towards doing more vegetable juices, than the fruit juices personally. But to each their own. I'm not a juice feasting coach, and I'm not going to recommend one because there's none of them that I would, that I like, their necessary program, or that I know. So yeah, this one's basically the easiest to clean, pretty much hassle-free. If you don't want to have to pre-cut and think about how to use it other than just alternating food and pushing it in. This is the style machine I got for both my parents and my brother so that they could have an easy time juicing, just because I just want to get them to juice, and it's the easiest one to clean because some people hate cleaning the juicer, and I'm like, if they can't use this machine that's the easiest to use and clean, they're not going to juice. And guess what? They're not juicing! Alright, the next machine I'm going to introduce you guys to is the Omega VSJ843. Now, we'll give a disclaimer, this is my favorite juicer in the world that I've found to date. I've been using this machine for many years now. I've tested all the other major brands, including latest ones, newest ones, and while some newer ones may make a little higher yield than this guy just allows me ease of flexibility to use and ease of cleaning, and just works very well for me. It's a true workhorse, time proven. That's very important. Now, this is a vertical single auger machine. This runs at a low and slow 43 revolutions per minute. Now, the difference between 80 RPMs and 43 RPMs, I don't know, whatever, 30 something RPMs difference, that's not going to make a significant difference in the nutrition in the juice created, unless you're juicing something like a lot of leafy greens, where you'd want to generally go with the other style, because this machine will put a bit more foam in your juice in some cases, because of the wiping blade that it has. That being said, this is like that multi-purpose screwdriver that I told you guys, because it is a vertical juicer. Vertical juicers are like this screwdriver that you have different kind of bit sets on, right? This one could handle things like the leafy greens if properly pre-cut. If you are going to buy a vertical juicer, check the link down below. Juice like a pro in any vertical slow juicer. Don't buy a vertical slow juicer if you don't watch that video first and agree to do all the things I say in the video, because if you just start haphazardly putting produce in the machine without pre-cutting it, you could hate this juicer, and this could be the worst juicer for you guys in the world. I use it properly, and it just works so beautifully. And here's the thing, this machine has a 30-minute duty cycle, so according to the manufacturer, you should not use it for more than 30 minutes at a time. I use this for up to an hour at a time. Actually, just yesterday, I used this very juicer to make 5 quarts of green juice and I mean, I drink 1 quart a day. I also used this juicer to make like 8 quarts of root juice. I've used this juicer to make, 1.5 gallons of watermelon juice. This is like truly the workhorse that you can just, turn it on and get it done. It takes me 3 minutes to clean, so that's very, very easy. This is the easiest vertical juicer I found to clean personally, actually tied with the Hurom screenless design, which that's a different discussion. That put a lot more pulp in the juice, so I didn't like that so much. And then on the leafy greens, it juices it pretty much about as well as the NC800, but they must be pre-cut. And things like celery, leafy greens, and ginger should be pre-cut in 1/4 inch pieces against the grain. Otherwise, this machine will clog and jam. That being said, this machine works better on fruit than the NC800 that I showed previously, and will get a higher yield. That being said, if you still have too soft of produce textures, this machine will not work. So, if you're juicing grapes, for example, don't get seedless grapes to juice. They're not going to juice as well as the grapes with the seeds, because the juicer could grab onto those hard seeds, and the hard seed material is going to help push that soft pulp material through the juicer. Also, when buying, especially fruits to juice in this machine, you want to get the most hard and firm fruits. Don't go to the store and buy pineapples you could indent like an avocado, because it's, because it's really soft and old, and it's not going to juice as well as a nice firm, hard pineapple. So always select your fruits as hard as possible for the best results. You know, and I've had the best results juicing fruits in this machine when they're hard and firm compared to any other slow juicer out there. This one just handles it the best. As to root vegetables, this machine is comparable to the NC800 in terms of yield when you're juicing root vegetables, but this machine is a lot more convenient because literally on root vegetables, I take a carrot, I chop off the top, chop off the bottom, stick it in the feed chute, and the machine, as it rotates, it chunks off pieces of the carrot and it will auto feed itself so that you don't have to. This will surely save you some time, so I like to multitask by pre-cutting things, dropping it in while the machine's running, and I could pre-cut things, drop it in, and rotate as I'm going. Do it rather slowly, don't use the pusher, and it works beautifully every single time. This machine is tried and true, and that's why I love it so much. You know, so this is literally the jack of all trades, a solid performer and workhorse if that's what you're looking for. The Omega VSJ843. They do have this is the square model. We do have a round model as well, which is basically identical in function, except the machine has a bit smaller footprint and has the on and off switch on the back instead of on the front. The next juicer I'm going to show you guys today is another vertical juicer. Once again, it's like that, you know, a screwdriver that has the multiple bit sets because it is a vertical juicer. They are efficient at juicing many different kinds of produce and doing it quite well. And this is the Kuvings C7000, also known as the Whole Slow Juicer Elite. Now the reason why I like this machine is because of the large 3-inch wide feed chute. So if you are going to be doing like something like a fruit juice fast and juicing lots of fruits, for example, you know, this machine will allow you to put fruits in more quickly, you know, than the VSJ that I showed earlier because it has a smaller feed chute. So just the other day I juiced watermelon with basil, and this machine was easy because I could just cut the watermelon into big huge pieces and just drop it in. It juiced fine. I could have done that in the VSJ. The VSJ would probably work a bit more efficiently and grind a little bit better and make maybe a little bit more yield, but this one definitely saved me time. So if you want to have the benefit of a slow juice, but also a little bit of time savings when juicing fruits, then I would recommend this machine. That being said, on this machine you still need to pre-cut things like carrots and leafy greens and ginger, otherwise it can jam up on you when you're taking it apart. Now this machine will juice leafy greens probably like not quite as well as the VSJ, and in my test sometimes this machine will make a little bit more than the VSJ and then sometimes it'll actually make a bit less, but this machine does take me longer to clean than the VSJ. But it is easier to feed, so it may be a little bit faster if you're making large quantities of juice. That being said, you'll be giving up some yield and have a little more difficult cleaning time. That being said, this machine has some features that the VSJ does not. It allows you to make frozen fruit sorbets, which is really nice. So you could just basically put frozen fruit through there and it'll just mush it all up, whereas the VSJ is not designed to do that. So I do like the Kuvings for that feature specifically, and once again it has that wide feed chute to make feeding easy. I'll put some links down below to using the Kuvings 3-inch wide juicer so you could learn more about it if you are interested before you purchase it. You know, this is the machine I would get if I was juicing mostly fruits. That being said, you gotta make sure you get hard and firm fruits. Soft fruits that are just like mush when you touch them, you know, they're not going to juice good in any slow juicer. And that's why I want to share with you guys the last juicer if you want the most yield and the most nutrition right now. So I know you're probably thinking right now, you're thinking, John, wait a second, you're talking about juicers, man. Why do you got a blender now that you're saying is the best juicer in the world? And, you know, frankly, that's because based on my testing and my taste buds and some science that I reviewed, it is. That being said, this machine also has limitations. Now you're thinking, John, wait a second, I could juice with my blender. I do not recommend juicing in traditional blenders, and here's the reason why. Most traditional blenders, the blades could run at in excess of 20,000 RPMs. And I've talked about it earlier, the high-speed machine only runs at like 10,000 RPMs. So the blade in a high-speed juicer of today runs very quickly. The issue with that is that it lowers significantly the phytonutrient content, you know, as proven by science, you know, because it's running so fast. And that's why I don't recommend juicing in a traditional blender, because you lose nutrients, and I could taste the difference when basically using a standard blender to make juice in the fashion I'm going to explain to you guys. The difference with this machine, this is the Trivest DynaPro 2250. It's all new for 2021. It includes this, which is a vacuum pump. So what the vacuum pump allows you to do, you put it on top of the machine, and before you blend anything, you press the button. And you could hear the machine come on. This is basically a vacuum pump. It's sucking the excess oxygen out of the crap. I have other videos on the DynaPro. I'll put links down below to my unboxing of this, as well as me juicing some of my juices in it, including celery and my turmeric ginger root juice in this machine, and how I do it. But basically, anyways, once you suck out the oxygen out of the machine, the RPMs are no longer a factor, because oxidation is barely occurring, because all the excess oxygen is removed out of the chamber before you blend. That is truly the game changer, you know, when making juices. You know, this is even better than a 43 RPM juicer that runs very slowly, because that's in, you know, standard atmospheric oxygen. When you remove the excess oxygen, the oxidation doesn't happen. So what you do is you put the mixture in here, link down below to my celery video to see exactly how you do it. You press this button twice, the pulse button, and it basically pulses the celery up, makes it into like a fine mush. And then you take that mush and you run it through the Blend Tech nut milk bag. Very important. You got to get the Blend Tech nut milk bag. I put a link down below if you guys want to get the Blend Tech nut milk bag. They're having a buy one get one free sale right now as the video is being filmed, although that may change in the future. And then basically you wring out the juice, and what you're going to get are two things. Number one, you're going to get the highest yield. In celery, I achieve like 90% yield, you know, with 10% pulp left over, 90% comes out, so you're going to get the highest yield. Number two, you're going to get the highest nutrition quality juice, higher quality than even a juicer. And I've been selling juicers since 1998, and I'm telling you this, I had to pivot and change and get up with the times and share the new knowledge with you guys, because I want you guys to have the best knowledge, and I don't be stuck in this whole juicer paradigm when truly something is better that actually I use in my very kitchen to make my turmeric, ginger, ginseng, rosemary, lemon, apple, you know, juice that I drink like every day for anti-inflammatory purposes. You know, the juice stays fresher longer because it basically doesn't have oxygen that's being put into the juice as it's being created. That being said, this technique and the way to juice for this is not for everybody. It is on some levels easier to clean, because now you just have a carafe to clean, and then you have a juice bag or nut milk bag to clean, which is very easy to clean. This is the easiest one to clean that I found. I take it literally outside with my garden hose, put it on high pressure spray, and spray it off inside, outside a couple times. I collect that water in a bucket and then water my trees with, and it's clean basically, no scrubbing, you know. You could do this in your kitchen sink as well, high pressure and stuff, and maybe you might have to scrub a little more. But it's very simple and easy to clean. It's going to get the highest quality juice and highest nutrition. That being said, you can't make continuous juice in this. This is a batch juicer. So I think like I made straight apple juice in this the other day. I made almost a quart of juice. But if you're doing celery, you might make like 20 ounces of juice in one batch and one pressing. Then you'll have to press out more. So, you know, this might not be too much of a problem for you guys if you guys don't care about the time and don't care about continuous juicing and want to have the highest quality juice and the most nutrition and the most yield. This is it, man. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. This is totally the way to go. That being said, this machine, like the others, will specialize in juicing certain things better than others. So, for example, it could do straight celery without issue. You could do straight romaine hearts without issue. Now, you do need to pre-cut these things before you put it in the juicer. I did straight apple juice without any issue. Straight fruit juices are going to work the best. And then you want to pick out those soft and mushy fruits. This way of juicing could juice those soft and mushy fruits that the other ways can't. So if you got cotton candy grapes, right? You want to put them in here if they're soft and mushy, blend them up, and then run them through the nut milk bag. That's the best way to make cotton candy grape juice with no seeds. Even if they have the seeds, you could do that, and this still would be better because this machine fractionates those seeds, fractionates the skin to release those nutrients into the mixture, and then you strain it out with the nut milk bag. And juicers are not as effective at grinding up the produce than this style would be. And once again, you remove the oxygen. That is the most important part. Don't try to juice in your standard blender. You will get a lower nutrition, in my opinion, than even the slow juicers would. That being said, I know there's plenty of videos on YouTube, people showing you guys how to do that, but you know, I focus on how can I do things the best to maintain the most nutrients so that I can get the most benefits. Maybe you've done a fast or juice feast before using a high-speed machine. it didn't quite get the benefits you want. Well, maybe, hey, if you try this technique using a slow juicer, just because you have, X% more nutrients in there, you may get the results. I don't know. I can't tell the future or anything like that. But, I want to tell you this. For me and for my life, I always try to maximize the phytonutrients. These are the most vital parts of the fruits and vegetables, in my opinion. And, by using this technique, we'll maximize them the most. A slow juicer is just right below this. And, that's what I'm going to recommend to you guys. Links down below, you guys can see how I juice in this. You're not going to juice straight carrots in here. It's just simply not going to work. You're going to have to do, maybe put a lot of apples and then a little bit of carrots in there to get it to work properly, or even just add, apple juice that you just made and then add apple juice with some carrots, and then you could get it to work properly. If you don't have enough liquid in here and the fruit or vegetable doesn't have the right consistency, it's not going to work. So keep that in mind. So this machine is limited, and you're going to have to play with it. Because juicing in this method under vacuum is a new technology that I just introduced literally in 2021. Nowhere before have you ever learned about this. And so I want to thank actually Tom Dixon, who made me aware of his amazing juice nut milk bag and making juice in a vacuum blender. Because before I visited him at the Blend Tech factory in Utah, I just thought it wasn't a good way to juice, because I'd never blend in your juicer. But blending under vacuum in a blender is actually the best way to juice. And most people don't know this, and now you guys know. So now you guys have the choice of what juicer to buy. I think the safest bet for me is to get two appliances. I would get actually the vacuum blender here, or other suitable vacuum blender that you can juice in, and then I would get a slow juicer. That way you're going to have the most flexibility to juice. If you wanted the highest yield, then you could use this, but sometimes this takes too long, then you could use a slow juicer. You might want to just get this system first and see and use it and do that, and if you could keep up with it and it's fine for you, then do it. But if it gets too much work, then you just want to get a continuous juicer, then get a vertical juicer. Because, here's the thing. After you guys are done with your juice feast, juice fast, whatever you want to call it, don't just put your juicer or your vacuum blender in the cabinet and never use it again. I want you guys to implement fresh juices, fresh smoothies, fresh vacuum blended mixtures. Make your own salad dressings in this machine, which is what I do in my own soups. I want you guys to do that every single day so that you don't have to go on a juice fast to detoxify from all the junk food you eat, right? My goal, is to drink half of the food I eat in juice. Every day I drink 3 to 4 juices every day, and then I still eat some fruit and have a nice big vegetable-based salad and other plant-based foods, for my personal diet. And, that's what I want for you guys. Even if you're going to go back to McDonald's, right? Drink your juice every morning and then go out and eat your McDonald's if you're going to still eat junk food, right? But keep up with the juicing on a regular and consistent basis after your juice fast. That's truly the way you're going to get the most benefits. And now you know the best machines to buy for your juice fast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, I would encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. This allows me to continue to make these videos, pay my light bill, and all these things, so that I could share my information with you guys that you frankly aren't going to hear anywhere else. Also, make sure you thumb this video up, and more importantly, share this with other people that are into juice feasting or juice fasting, and juice fasting forums and Facebook groups that you're on, so that they could be aware of the best juicers a juicing expert would recommend for your juice fast, so that they could learn the ins and outs, the pros and cons of all the different style of juicers. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes that come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. That's very important. I think the next video that I'll air is how to freeze your juice the best way possible if you want to freeze your juice. Also, be sure to check my past episodes. The past episodes all wealth of knowledge, over 600 episodes at this time, comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers so that you guys can get the right juicer for you. I'll put links down below to some of the videos I made with some of these machines in the past and some of the videos that I've recommended that you should watch before you make your purchase. And I would encourage you guys, especially if buying a machine with like a 15-year warranty, you guys should do your research and watch some of my videos that I've made. I put a lot of effort and time into the videos so that you guys could know exactly what you're getting before you invest your money in a machine that, in my opinion, will change your life if you use it. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.